What's going on, guys? Wanted to do an informational video for you on whether you should be hand applying dyes or you should be spraying them on. Two different techniques, sort of two learning curves. I prefer rubbing the stains in. I feel like you get a much better pop of the wood. You get to show all the figure, and even on a not so nice top, you can get some really cool looks out of it. If you're going for that sort of authentic burst look, obviously you need a spray gun, you need a compressor, you also need to have some skill sets to do this right. The one nice thing about applying the burst with a spray gun is that you can get really tight, consistent lines across the guitar. The negative to that is you don't get the sort of coloring and the flame of the wood to pop as much. So essentially you're spraying a pigment over the wood and you're covering up a little bit of the figure. So this is a Gibson Les Paul Standard that we're going to refinish. It's got such a beautiful maple top that they just covered up, and if you had applied a little bit of hand stains, I think it'll look so much better. So that's one of the projects I've got that I'm sitting on. This is my original Poor Man's Burst from, I guess, 10 years ago, and it's an amazing piece of wood that I hand applied these stains and got it to pop, and it just looks great. And then this is a carved top custom that I built many years ago, and same technique. We used a brown, red, and yellow to get this to pop. The hand rubbing of the dyes, you don't have as much control with them in terms of getting this hard, tight line. You're going to kind of get it to fade back and forth. I did that on this one, and I did that on this one. You just can't get that hard, dark line like this. When you're spraying around, you can get a much more consistent line and sort of better fade, so better burst to some degree. But you can take less figured tops and really get them to pop if you use more colors. So brown, red, yellow on a piece of wood really gets to soak into the wood, and you get it to pop back out, and you can show that sort of the wood's on fire if you use the right types of dyes, right type of technique. A little bit of a learning curve to getting this right, but if you use some of the basic wood tone colors, you can get anything to pop really well. The one thing I really want to talk about as well is that the better the piece of wood, it's going to look awesome regardless. So this is a 5A piece of wood. If I did the spray technique versus the rubbed on technique, you're still going to get the wood to look awesome, because it's an amazing piece of wood. The best pieces of wood, like companies like the best pieces of wood that Paul Reed Smith gets, you can do anything to it and it's going to look awesome because the figure is so heavy and it's so much, it's got so much to it that any color, anything you do with it, it's going to pop. The best thing about rubbing on the dyes is you can take a 3A or 4A piece of wood and make it look outstanding, like one of the more figured pieces of wood. So the more color that you add to the less figured woods, the more it's going to soak into the different pores, to the different grain lines, and as you sand it back or add more color, it pops significantly. So this piece of wood, it's a burl, it looks really cool, but I added more color to it so I can get all the different pieces of wood to sort of explode. If I had painted or spray painted this on, it wouldn't look the same. So you got two different techniques, you'll get two different looks, and it really just depends on what you're going for. I always do the hand rub because I think I get the figure to pop more, I think it looks better. The only negative to that then is I don't get that exact traditional look of a Gibson in terms of how they're doing the burst. So just a quick video on why you would use the rubbed on method or the spray method. I get a lot of comments and questions on which one you should use and why, so hopefully this helps you guys out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.